All right, hi guys, Cole Chaney here at Strong Hands Gym. Another segment today to work out. So today I'm gonna be doing a shoulder, chest, and a little bit of legs today. Primarily shoulders, but adding a little chest and squats at the end. So to get warmed up, I'm gonna do some rows and some lat pull downs, stand the back up. Go up a little weights. So I'm keeping my feet on the ground to really stabilize my body more. Think about more how I'm keeping my body stiff, controlled. Really focusing on flattening my feet, keeping my hips opened up, spine leaning back a bit. Just really getting my lats fired up. All right, so after some rows, I'm gonna do some lat pull downs. All right, one more. And just to reiterate kind of why I like to do back at the beginning. The back really helps stand the body up. And specifically your lats, getting your lat to come in, basically in any movement you do, is gonna help keep the torso nice and stable, nice and locked in. And for you to keep this torso and spine really stiff as you bear weight during your movement. All right, so I'm gonna do one more. So as I'm doing this, I'm actually thinking about my chest and my upper back, keeping it nice and stable. And squeezing my lats, really controlling them on the way up. Squeezing on the way down. Good. All right, and then one more thing. Basically gonna do behind the back shoulder press. So I'm gonna set myself up in a squat position. because the engagement of the upper body is just as important. Lower body. Good, so I'm really controlling the bar here. Get my lats and my whole back flared up. And right now I'm just doing this, coming all the way down, like resting it like I squat. And this is more so for mobility. Just getting things nice and mobile before I lift the shoulders. All right, so first thing that I do, 3 sets of lateral raises, and aim for 20. So the whole focus of what I'm gonna be doing is just keeping stable. Got faster last 10. Whew. All right. Now 10 fast. Basically, the intention right now is I'm gonna do 3 sets here with the lateral raises to really open up the shoulder more here. After my 3rd set here, I'm gonna come here and do some high bar rows, chest supported, and open up my shoulders going back. And then I'm actually gonna execute another 3 sets on here, the lateral raises, and it's really gonna feel a little different as I had opened up my shoulders with that here pretty soon. All right, 3rd set. Damn. Hard. So as I'm doing these, I'm thinking feet flat. I'm thinking my spine is nice and erect, open up. I'm standing up, I feel my glutes all the way up. Back all fired up. So what I'm doing there is I'm holding wide grip. I'm really thinking about burrowing my elbows in to get those lats engaged as I pull back and really pull into the kind of upper and mid trap a bit and rear deltoid here. This is just gonna help open up my shoulders even further. I'm gonna add a little more weight.
Morning. Didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
And as I'm holding this, I'm thinking of really integrous hand grip, where the grip has no like space in between the bar and the hand. There's no slack. It's all really nicely gripped hard. Yeah, every set, every rep, I am thinking more stiff, better movement each time. Just moving with intention every time. One more. So something that I'm thinking about right now, I have a weakness on my left side, in my brachioradialis here. And so I just do as best I can to not cheat the movement. And every rep I am feeling this burn. Even though this is primarily a row, I'm trying to get my back involved and for shoulders. This is also involved in the engagement here. It's like a domino effect. Starts from your hand, goes all the way up. So if you don't have good engagement here in your hand, your forearm, your arm, you're not gonna have engagement good one up here, your shoulder and your back. Full body movement every time. All right. So we're gonna do some lateral raises again, but instead of 20 reps, we're gonna go 10 and we're gonna go a little heavier. There they are. All right, next one, I'm gonna do 30s. I'm gonna give myself about 30 seconds, a minute in between. And something I like to emphasize is almost like, think of like you're holding dumbbells like hammers, 2 hammers. I think I'm gonna stay there too, because that one was, I feel like it was like cheat reps. So, just to kind of relay my experience of doing this, most of what I'm thinking about is stiffening my entire skeleton up. And then the second emphasis is actually pulling through up here and completing the lateral raise. Have to make the foundation of your body nice and sturdy, nice and stiff. Kind of placing the bones of the skeleton where you want them, and then follow through with bearing the weight in the muscles. Because the muscles will pull on the bone where you want them. You just have to think stiffly where you want to put those bones. So basically every time I'm thinking, kind of opening up the hips here, opening up the pectoral shoulder girdle here, and then very stiff in here, thinking of like my belly button, bringing it in, and breathing from there. So having a nice, stable abdominal wall every time you lift. One more. So the next exercise I'm gonna do, we're gonna do some seated shoulder press with dumbbells. But first I wanna mobilize a little further, and I'm gonna do simple Supermans with these plates here. So even in this position, I'm thinking of like my body, how it would be standing up on my feet. So same cues of stiffness, same cues of engagement. I'm getting those lats engaged. Coming up here, raising up, coming back, raise up again. Come here and back down. I'm gonna do 8 of these. As you can see, those are 2.5 pound plates, and I'm struggling. Ooh! All right. So I gather my breath, and we're gonna go for these. I'm gonna go for 4 sets of 8. So prioritizing good movement, good engagement over the amount of lifting, but I am also keeping in mind progressively overloading the weight, because I do want challenge, but I want to be moving well. I'm gonna do those again, just to kind of master the weight a little further. Then if it makes sense to go up, I'm gonna do that. Oh man. Ooh. Damn. Whew. Alright, I'm gonna stay there. Whew. Yeah. So as I'm doing that, the whole time I'm thinking about stabilizing my grip, my hands, keep my whole body stiff, opening up my chest cavity, and here the thoracic region of my spine here, opening that up, but maintaining a stable core, stable hips, flat feet. Pretty much every workout I do right now that consists of me holding any weight with my left hand, this brachioradialis is on fire. It's just been weaker for a long time than my right one. Improving movement, you gotta kind of treat it like you're learning to walk again. When you were a child, an infant, when you were learning to walk, you were thinking about it a lot. You probably don't remember it, but you gotta think a lot in order to move well. Same thing as an adult. You gotta think about your movement to improve it. It takes time. All right, last one.
But also just because like it's always on the news when guys start yelling things at me. So I had to, so I just a variety of things like that. Yeah, I mainly in terms of like fitness stuff, I've been working out consistently for several months now. Like 3 or 4 times a week usually. And I'm getting into weightlifting more, but I've been very cautious. Like I'm not doing like squats or anything because I have interest, and I'm just very scared that I could hurt my back. So I've been wanting to eventually start working with someone. Doing this for a long time and wanting to get better at it. So I'm like, hey, I should probably work with someone professional at some point.
Much better. All right, moving on.
Your shoulders a little bit.
Yeah, I can like, yeah, I don't feel like I've ever done it like that. Like,
Think about, look much more chest here. So, squeezing your chest and flexing it as you come up. Like you can't obviously bring your elbows in that close, but if you could, push the bar together. Okay.
So I'm doing 3 sets of 10 on the Shrugs, going very controlled. Really thinking of that integrous tight grip. And also thinking of kind of my shoulder blades. If you look in the mirror, what the shoulder blade wants to do to stand the body up at all times is it retracts and then it goes down. And that retraction and downward depression movement is all latissimus dorsi. So that's why I emphasize that so much, is because that back and down motion with the shoulder blade is all, not all, but primarily dominated by lat and traps. And then you also have your rhomboids underneath there. Bring it back. And you're always going to have to do that for any movement that you're weight bearing, and also when you're standing and walking, because walking is our most fundamental movement. So if you kind of optimize the way you walk, it's going to translate effectively to kind of most things you do moving. All right, so next set. Grab. One more. Oh yeah, one more. Got one more set. Okay, my thoughts on moving when I'm doing this. I'm really bringing that whole arm in, thinking of the lats, but also thinking of the chest, because the chest and the lats, they kind of oppose each other. So it's like your body's constantly doing this. It's like chest back, chest back, chest back, chest back, kind of balancing the upright positioning of the torso. So on many lifts that you do with the upper body, think of the chest and kind of the shoulders lifting a bit, as well as the back pulling back, and balance all of those big muscle movements, and it's going to help stand the body up much better when you're lifting. So even like when you do bicep curls, it's kind of like you want to think of the chest and back the entire time, and you're going to get a much better engagement in your biceps because you're stabilizing here and here. So the same thing is applying to these shrugs. I'm thinking the stability of my chest and upper back, and then pulling up. I get a much better contraction in my traps. So I'll kind of demonstrate kind of the balance between my chest and back before I lift up. There's my chest, there's my back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Final things to do. So we're gonna do some bench press, tackle the chest, and then we're gonna do some squats. And the main reason why I'm doing squats is because I've been doing all this upper body engagement, and during a squat, it's critical to really engage the upper body when you are performing the movement to control the torso and being it upright. So it's kind of like I want to apply all the mechanics that I've done today into a lower body dominant movement. All right, so chest, here we go.
try some low bar squats.
Okay.
So bring it. A lot of people will start up here, which is fine. Try a little sort of shoulders. Bring hip and shoulder, same stance we had.
All right, here we go.
Lift things down the hips, pushing the booty back. This time your back be a little bit leaning forward. The idea is that the angle of the back is about the same angle as the lower leg. Come as low as you can come. Squeeze the butt. Push all the way. Eventually,
So,
okay,
okay,
do some
so,
more.
so start like this.
You might want to go one more flexibility.
Okay, so like this.
Yep.
Okay. And
And
then,
roll a little bit lower on the back.
sorry, don't want to mess this up. Like here? Okay. And then here?
Yeah. Pulling the elbows forward.
Forward this way.
Dropping the booty back. Seeing the booty back a little bit.
A little bit more.
Yeah. And then squeezing the butt.
All right, 2 more sets. So something that I like to do when I am doing this, it's really no different than all the other cues that I've been saying. Really, you want to engage the lats. You want to stand the feet flat into the floor. Stabilize the hips and torso. And then something that I've mentioned, I think, in previous content is like, I talk about rib cage breathing. And it's just a very conscious expansion of the rib cage. So you have the ribs here,
I like to hold it.
and you want to think of
Traditionally, you hold it here.
because your ribs also come all the way up here. They attach into your chest here, your whole thoracic region, which is basically from
This time your chest is going to
this point down to this point,
back here. Your lower.
all containing ribs. So everything in this whole area is your ribs. So you want to think all of this expanding in a 360-degree orientation when you are breathing, and it's going to help out your mechanics with lifting so much, because that's what's really going to help induce that pressure that you lock in when you breathe in. Because ideally, what you want to do is a pattern of, and you lock that air in, and then you push from that locked, pressurized cavity. And that's what's going to give you that strength to lift weight. Because if I lift without locking this in, it's very loosey-goosey. It's not going to be managed well in lifting. So you want to create that pressure through very conscious inhalation of expanding the lungs in the ribs, as well as the ribs themselves expanding.
I usually say weight to the midfoot.
So I'm just going to apply
Say weight to the back of the foot.
that as I do this.
So you overcorrect, but balancing it out. And then as you come up, you want to squeeze your legs. You're not going
So I got my lats engaged. Standing up on my feet.
Okay, so.
I breathe big. Lock it in. Push.
Take your time.
That felt great. One more.
We're going to go back to the room.
Okay.
I've been doing some shoulder press.
Yeah, I'm probably doing it wrong, but I've been trying to do it.
There's not much you can do wrong.
Oh my god, I'm dead. my God. I'm gonna finish 3. Nope. Chest is fried. All right, so I want to go 3 sets of 10. And again, the emphasis of why I'm doing this is to basically utilize all the mechanics that I've done today with my upper body, my shoulders, upper back, and chest a bit, and really apply it to squatting. All right. So I always like to do this. I start with an even grip. So I'm using these grooves. I put the same finger on the same groove. So for me right now, I'll go ahead and do this ring finger. Integris grip here. Really torque in the whole arm. Same thing here. Good grip. I'm thinking like I'm holding 2 hammers on the side. Get myself stood up into the feet. I wiggle myself underneath here basically, trying to get as much of my upper trap on here. All right, 2 more sets. Same thing. And as I'm doing these squats, so what I'm thinking about is like a tripod foot. I think I've talked about this before in previous videos, but like make sure your heel's down, and then put the ball of your big toe down on the ground. Spread out the toes like this. Grasp the ground with the remaining ball of the pinky. And then you just grasp the ground and stand up. So it's like every rep I do, I am spreading out toes and grasping ground more. Because just like the hands, where you need like an Integris hand grip when you're holding dumbbells or barbells or whatever weight, you gotta have it nice and firm, nice and held well. So same thing with the feet, is you need to really ground them into the ground, and that's gonna help engage in the calves, hamstrings and quads, glutes. You can catch in your hips a lot better. All right, 2 more sets.
That's fine, yeah.
One more. So I'm gonna give this all I got. As much stiffness as I can. Really keeping this up. It's like you want to have that, you know, in animated films where you see someone like, say like Gaston and, what's the movie called? Beauty and the Beast, thank you. He's got that barrel chest, and that's kind of what you want to think about. He's like, you want to think about this staying nice and big, and then this nice and tight. Like nice and tight. All right, here we go. Three more. All right, well that concludes today's workout. So a little recap, we did mainly shoulders, some upper back, chest, and then squats at the end. Yeah, so continue to stand the body up when you're lifting, stand the body up when you're walking. Remember, like, you're in here maybe an hour, hour and a half at a given time, working out. You're out there for the rest of the day. So you're spending more time not here. Only makes sense to really think about your movement also when you're not in the gym, because that's where you're spending more of your time. You can make more of an impact kind of going throughout your day, thinking about how you're moving. So until next time, I'll see you guys. Have a good day.